welcome to 3 frightening stories.
Scary Halloween story. This story happened back in 2017. I was trick-or-treating when my legs started to hurt like hell. Thankfully, my house was nearby, so I walked home. My dad checked on me and said that he was going to be at the house across the lawn. I said okay, and my dad left. I was laying on the couch eating some candy when suddenly my body went numb and I couldn't move. My vision got wired. The best way to put it is big black snowflakes. I tried to scream, but nothing came out. I was suddenly able to move my head and looked into the other room, where I saw a tall figure walking very slowly. But then it all ended and I was able to move again. I told my mom about it along with a few friends. If any of you have any good explanations on why this happened, please tell me.
The cemetery. Okay, so let me get this straight. I'm a 15-year-old girl who lives in New Zealand, but when this took place I was around 12 years old. In 2016, a couple days before Christmas, the worst thing happened to us. We found out my auntie died, which was on my dad's side, and they were very close. She was a jockey and she fell off the horse and it crushed her. Oh, and her favorite thing was the smell of lilies. Anyway, after about 2 years of her death, we visited her again for Christmas, and we have been here to see her many times, but this time it felt different in a way. The air was heavy and I got this wave of dread. It was so overwhelming that I had to stay in the car for a bit. Once I thought that the bad feeling had calmed down, I decided to hop out and look around the cemetery. And as I was doing so, I smelled a familiar smell like the smell of lilies. And at first it was comforting in a way, but then I felt like I was being watched. But like I could tell that whatever it is that was watching me didn't want me here. Like I needed to leave, so I listened to my gut feeling and booked it back to the rest of my family. Not shortly after, once all of us were in the car driving back, we saw that there was something in the middle of the road. So we stopped, but the longer we stared at it, the more we realized it was my auntie. And she looked worried, and about 2 seconds later a car comes flying by in full speed. And then she disappeared. I'll tell you now, it scared me and I couldn't sleep that night. But the longer I thought about it, the more I realized that she saved us that day, and that she really is looking over at us. Thanks for listening. I just wanted to get this off my chest. And I know you might not believe me, because I wouldn't if I heard this, but it is 110% real, and it's still vividly stuck in my head till this day.
The woman in the white dress. This happened just yesterday, so it's fresh in my mind. I'm not quite sure what to think of it because it was just so bizarre and unbelievable. I might have just been sleep deprived. So last night at maybe 1, I was walking around my block. My town is relatively safe, so I didn't feel in danger. Plus it was a pretty night. I had been walking for around 5 minutes when a pale woman with blonde hair and a white dress caught my eye from across the street. She was about my height and looked to be around my age too. I didn't actually pay attention to her after I first noticed her. While I circled the block again, she was on the same street, a couple feet in front of me. She was standing on the curb staring at the cars passing by. It was a main road, so even that late people were still driving on it. I said hello to her and she turned her gaze to me. I couldn't see her face super well, but from what I think I saw, she had no pupils or color in her eyes. She just stared at me. After a while I asked if she was okay. She didn't respond again and simply pointed at the road. I was really confused and didn't understand. Right as a red car started coming down the road, she stepped into the road. The car slammed into her and it was a bloody mess. The driver immediately stopped and jumped out. It was a man in his mid-20s. We both spoke about it, freaking out. He called the police and I went around the car to see the state of the girl. Once I circled around the car, she was gone. Not gone as in dead, gone as in she just wasn't there. The blood on the road was gone too, but not gone from his car. After the police arrived, they concluded that it was some big hoax of a kid who didn't know what they were talking about and some guy who went along with it. The blood on the truck was brought to investigation only to be found as paint. Nothing else was put up about it. I'm still not sure if what happened was real. It felt so real, but I don't believe in the paranormal. I don't know what it was. If it was just a dream or if it was real. I remember it like it was real. I feel like I can't leave the house now. I don't understand anything now and I kind of feel like I'm going crazy. Has anyone else experienced something like this?